just a tribute that came across from my good friend Marv Takahashi. And he sent me this tribute that talks about half boy, half man. But the average age of the military folks today is 19 years old. The guy is short-haired, tight-muscled. He's a kid. Under normal circumstances, considered by society as not quite a full-grown man yet. Not yet dry behind the ears. Actually not old enough to buy beer, but certainly old enough to die for his country. He never really cared much for work. Most of them would rather wax their own car than wash their father's. But he's never begged for unemployment either. He's a recent high school graduate, probably an average student, probably pursued some form of sport activities, and probably was watching the Super Bowl if he could. The young man in the military drives a 10-year-old jalopy and has a steady girlfriend that either broke up with him when he left to serve, or a girlfriend maybe swears to be waiting when he returns from half the world away. He likes to listen to rock and roll, maybe jazz, maybe rap or hip-hop, and 155-millimeter howitzer. He listens to that, too. He's 10 or 15 pounds lighter now than he was when he was at home because he's working or fighting from before dawn to well after dusk in the heat, carrying all that equipment, trying to save himself with a bulletproof vest and pounds of equipment when it's 120 degrees. He might have a little trouble spelling, so writing letters is kind of a pain for him. But he can strip a rifle in 30 seconds and reassemble it in less time in the dark. He can recite you all about a machine gun or a grenade launcher, and he can use either one effectively if he has to, and much of the time he has to. He digs foxholes for himself and his buddies and latrines. If you don't know what that is, look it up. He can apply first aid like a professional. He can march until he's told to stop, or just stay stopped until he's told to march. He can obey orders instantly and without hesitation, but he still has that spirit of individual dignity. 19 years old, and he's self-sufficient. He has 2 sets of fatigues. He washes one and wears the other. He keeps his canteens full and his feet dry. He sometimes forgets to brush his teeth, but never forgets to clean his rifle. He can cook his own meals, mend his own clothes, and sometimes has to fix his own hurts. If you're thirsty, he'll share his water with you. If you're hungry, he'll share his food. He'll even split the last ammunition with you in the midst of a battle if you run low. He's learned to use his hands like weapons, and weapons like they were part of his hands. He can save your life, or he can take it because that's his job. He will often do twice the work of a civilian, draw half the pay, still find a lot of humor in it all. That's what really saves the American soldier and makes him superior to any other one, oftentimes because the sense of humor and the creativity that he uses thinking and defeating the enemy. And yet he has seen more suffering and death than he should have in his short lifetime. He sometimes has to weep in public and in private for friends who have fallen in combat, and he's unashamed about those tears. He feels every note of the national anthem vibrate through his body while he's standing at attention, while he has to kind of hold down his burning desire to square away those people around him who haven't bothered to stand or remove their hat or even stop talking. You know, in an odd twist, day in and day out, far from home, he even defends the right of the stupid and the ignorant to be disrespectful. And have you noticed it's getting worse? Have you noticed the trend toward non-patriotism? But yet this young man, just as did his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, he is paying the price for your and my freedom. If he has a beard or not, he's not a boy. He's the American fighting machine. One of many that has kept this country free for 200 years. He doesn't ask for a lot in return, just some friendship and understanding, and maybe some help when he gets home. That's why you should support the USO. Remember the soldier, for he has earned our respect and admiration with his blood. And now, not to leave out the ladies, we have women over there in danger, right on the front line. The women doing their part in this tradition of going to war when our nation calls upon us to do so. And when you go to bed tonight, remember, just a short lull, a little shade, and a picture of loved ones in their helmets. And please remember to pray for our soldiers, male, female. Lord, hold our troops in your loving hand and protect them as they protect us. Bless them and their families for the selfless acts they perform in our time of need.